we doing? I'm not seeing enough smiles. I don't believe you. Come on now. You have reason to be thankful and grateful. We've heard some great music and centering prayer. Come on, Unity Center DC. Come on now. Come on. Okay. So, let us breathe and anchor in. As always, it's great being with you. And today is no different. And so part of what I'm speaking to, the theme about thanks living, is also the gratitude that I feel for all of you, the gratitude that I feel for being able to be present with you, the gratitude for knowing how amazing you are as a community and as individualized expressions of God. Like, I am grateful for how Spirit is showing up as all of you. So once again, let's breathe. November already, you say. What? I could have sworn we just did New Year's. Yes, we are in the season of Thanksgiving and it'll be Christmas. And in 2026, happy, whew. So Thanksgiving for a lot of people, including myself, for many years, was a time of great distress. And then I reached a period in my life where I realized, wait a minute, why am I doing this? I don't feel thankful. I don't, yeah, I'm going through the motions, but I'm not feeling it. So then fast forward many years later, and then I'm involved in New Thought and whatnot. And I started rethinking the whole concept of holidays, which, the etymology is holy days. And I started thinking, okay, so Valentine's Day. Why do so many people wait to tell their beloved on Valentine's Day, I love you, I love you. Here's candy, here's chocolates, here's roses, here's a smooch, here's a vacation. Whee! Why are you waiting for Valentine's Day for that? Or a birthday. Yes, I understand the symbolic, the expression of, and the ritual of, I got you, I got you. Birthday, yes, I got you. But every day that we wake up and open our eyes and have this thing called breath is reason to celebrate. Happy birthday to me. I woke up today. I'm here to do this thing called life. Like, celebrate every day. So then I got to this thing where, and don't tell Jan, but we had this conversation earlier and Pat was present. We were talking about Christmas songs and stuff throughout the year and that it's always Christmas season. 'Tis the season to be jolly. Right here, right now, we are thankful. So rather than waiting for Thanksgiving, especially when we understand who and what we are as divine expressions of God, then why aren't we living our thanks? Why aren't we living demonstrations of gratitude? Have you ever been, and I'm going to ask you, yes, this is the public school teacher in me getting ready to come out for a second, so hold on while I channel my inner Bobby, get in your seat. Quit playing with her hair. Okay, wrong person. So pause for a moment. Raise your hand if someone has ever said thank you to you for something, like you gave them something, maybe a nail file or lotion, whatever. You gave them something. And they said thank you. You heard the words, but you also felt they don't mean that. Raise your hand if you've ever been in a situation where someone expressed gratitude through words, but they didn't really mean it. And therein lies my thing. See, a lot of times within New Thought, and in the world in general, but we're going to talk about our siblings there some other day. Within New Thought, oftentimes we get so caught up in the words and the mental shenanigans of stuff. We'll say an affirmation rather than be the affirmation. We'll say a prayer, but we won't anchor in and realize that everything that we do, what's the song that we're going to do right before meditation? Our thoughts are prayers. And how often are you? We are always. Thank you for that. So if we are always praying, then is our prayer thank you? Is that a prayer that we are always saying? Because, Meister Eckhart said if the only prayer you were to ever say in your life were thank you, it would be enough. But why? Dear Meister, why? Because when you say it, when you feel it, when you embody it, you are acknowledging the amen that is already answered. That's why. Who says thank you? Who expresses gratitude for something knowing you're not going to get it? Right? Like I asked Chick for, he's supposed to give me tickets to move to Disneyland. I want to live with Mickey Mouse. And Chick said, no. Thank you, my brother. Thank you. Anybody, Kathleen's going to look over and say, what? Wait, what just happened? That made no sense. We don't thank for things we know we're not going to get. What would be the point? So when we say thank you, when we anchor into the gratitude of what we are acknowledging and saying, I know that the power and the presence of the all that is moving in through and as me and all of life right here, right now, to such a degree that I need not say amen. My life is my amen. I witness the amen wherever I look, whenever I look. And for that, I am grateful. I am full of gratitude. Pause for a second. Gratitude, thankfulness, and such appreciation. To appreciate is to recognize the value of something. So when we are in this energy of thankfulness and gratitude and appreciation, what we are saying is, I see and recognize the isness of all that God is. I recognize its worth and value. Which means, when you look in the mirror, do you appreciate yourself? When you look in the mirror, are you able to look at yourself in all of the varieties of ways that you show up? Because trust and believe, the 20-year-old me, I'll go back that far, the 20-year-old me, had Cheryl told me, either Cheryl 1 and Cheryl 2, had they told me, Ray, do you realize that when you reach a certain age, not only is hair going to grow out of your ears, but it's going to grow out of your nose uncontrollably? I would have said, surely you jest. What? Now, am I able to look in the mirror and notice an afro growing out of my ears that must be snipped and gray hairs coming? Am I able to still in that moment say, I am grateful because I see God expressing. No matter the pounds, no matter the hair or the lack thereof, it doesn't matter because it's all God and therefore it's all good. Breathe. Because I know I just gave you a good bit to chew upon. So y'all wasn't expecting this today, were y'all? Just saying, you never know. You never know. Okay, so, because that's another thing to be grateful for. Be grateful for the ability to laugh and find humor. So, if I were to give you a homework assignment, we'll call it that. And the homework assignment is funded by Oprah, because Ray can't fund it right now, not right now. But it's funded by Oprah Winfrey or Jeff Bezos once he comes back to the light side of the force. And what they're going to do is give you $1,000 for everything you are grateful for. Now, the caveat is, once you start listing, I am grateful for, or I feel thanks for, and you start listing this, that, and you pause because you're now, thinking, the money stops. Can we get to 10? Can we get to 20 without pause? Can we get to 30 without pause? Can we get to 55 without pause? Can we get to 327 without pause? Homework assignment, sit with the exercise of Until I pause, I will and go, like literally go. Be thankful for your elbow, cause it could be like, I quit today. I'm getting a different job. I'm working for Amazon, and it leave like it could go. It could go. So I'm grateful for you, elbow, for all that you give me the ability to do. I am grateful. Be grateful. One of the things that Jan said, and she didn't even realize that she was sort of dipping in on today's message, but the passage in the Bible that says, in all things, give thanks. Now, it doesn't say be grateful for everything that happens to you, right? It doesn't say, Debbie, yesterday, I went out and had some Chinese food. It didn't sit, oh, yeah. Hold on, let me. I am grateful I don't know. I don't even want to. Doesn't say be grateful for the pain that you're in. Doesn't be grateful for doesn't say that. It says in the midst of the challenges, in the midst of the grief, in the midst of the sadness, in the midst of the pain, in the midst of the healing, in the midst of, as Byron was figuring out, how do I get myself off mute? Can y'all hear me? Jesus, take the wheel and turn the mic on for a moment. Like in the midst of all of this, it says, can I find something in here to be grateful for? When I was healing from the whole prostate cancer thing, it was like, you know what? But I'm grateful that I am breathing right now. I am grateful that even though right now I cannot get up and go for a 5 mile walk, and technically walking up the steps to go into the kitchen is a challenge, I am grateful that my body knows what to do to heal. I am grateful that my bed is comfortable and is supporting me right now. I am grateful that this pillow is ever so gently caressing my head and hold. I am grateful for that. I'm grateful for who invented pillows. I don't even know who did it, but I'm grateful for them because I could be laying on a rock, right? It's in the midst of all things that are, can I find something to be grateful for? Recently, some past traumas in my life have resurfaced. And so I ended up having to go. Well, I already had a therapist, but I ended up going to a psychiatrist for some pain. I mean, not pain medication, for some anxiety medication to deal with some things that are going on. And in meeting the psychiatrist and rehashing my life story, the psychiatrist said, how are you still alive? Wait, what? What? Excuse me? And he basically was expressing the concept of you have experienced so many different forms of trauma. How are you able to function? And so the psychiatrist gave me a homework assignment to find out, why am I so resilient? Fast forward several months later, because I sat with it like, I have no idea. I could pick things. And recently, one thing came up. And it was a flashback of when I was a child, and there was a Christmas song, Count Your Blessings. When I'm worried and I can't sleep, I count my blessings instead of sheep. Then I fall asleep, counting my blessings. I'd forgotten all about that song, but in the flashback, I remembered there were moments when things were happening. My mom came home, and I mean, so aggressively angry, drunk that she's smashing and punching and hitting everything. And I remembered sitting in the corner humming that song. When my father, Lou Gehrig's disease, I remembered the song. When one of my brothers put a gun to my head and demanded that I count his ill-gotten drug money, I remembered I was humming the song. I'm not grateful that my brother put a gun to my head and threatened my life, but I knew I had blessings, and I was able to count them in the midst of. So, are we able to move into a space that says, be thankful no matter the circumstances? Identify the blessings no matter the circumstances. Show up in a way where when someone says, give me one of the first words that comes to your mind when you think of Helen, when you think of Paula, what is one of the first words that comes to your mind? Gratefulness, gratitude, um, abundance. When they smile, the smile lights up a room. You can't help but to smile when you are in their presence. Are we able to live in such a way that that's what shows up? Regardless of what we say. Raise your hand if you have a furry child, cat, dog. I know Paula has birds, so it's not quite a furry, but it's a feathery. So they don't say thank you. And if they do, we need to get on the phone right now and call somebody because that's money in the bank. They don't say it, but they do express it. In what way do we whale our tags? Wow. In what way do we, you know what I'm saying, wag our tails? How do we express that? Oh my goodness. Pat just gave me a treat. Pat, oh, how do we express that? Oh, there it is. There it is. There the belly rubs. Woo. How do we express the goodness of God as our lives? That's what it means to actually move into a place where we are truly living this teaching. When we say, God the good omnipotent, and because this omnipotent power and presence is good, then our divine essence, our inherent essence must be what it is. And so rather than saying, quote unquote, thank you to God, when we are grateful and filled with thanksgiving, then we ourselves become the living embodiment of what it feels like for God to feel gratitude for itself. The way a rose blooms, the way a rainbow shows its colors. It's simply doing what it is. It's how the universe expresses its own beauty. So how can we move into a space of, I am so grateful, I am so thankful, I am filled with so much gratitude, I appreciate life and all that it is to such a degree that I need not drink from my cup, but I drink from my saucer because my cup runneth over. Breathe. So one thing as we get ready to go into meditation is as the words of the song play, anchor into what it truly means for your thoughts and your words and your actions to be prayer in motion. And we breathe. Continue to breathe. As we breathe, we are reminded of all of the blessings that we have. So vast that if we truly listed them, one after the other, after the other, after the other, then all of eternity itself wouldn't be long enough to truly list them all. And yet, knowing this vastness, we breathe and simply feel the gratitude of knowing it's there, even if it's beyond measure. I don't need to know that there's 1 trillion zillion things to be grateful for, 1 zillion trillion blessings. I don't need to have them all itemized and labeled sitting in front of me to feel the energy and the presence of them. Just as I do not need to know the names of and the addresses of every single human on the face of this planet to send them loving energy and a blessing of health and well-being, and that their consciousness evolves to such a degree that they know who and what they are as love itself. I don't need to know them to that degree to bless them, but I feel it. I feel it in such a way that whenever I go out into the world, I know, truly know, that wherever I am, God is, because it is me. What it is each and every one of us. So wherever we go, yes, God is. And that I am what it is. I am gratefulness. I am the power of protection.
Yeah.
I am the light, the joy, the love, and the wonder. I am that. And that which is ever becoming more of itself as me, as our beloved community, as our planet. And so we breathe and pause for a moment of silence. And just as we use this breath for meditation, for centering, at any moment, this breath serves as a reminder. So whether we are traveling across the Chesapeake Bay during summer season, we breathe and we know. Whether we are dealing with family dramas and traumas, we breathe and we know. Whether it is global things, we breathe and we know. We know that we are truly blessed, blessed beyond measure, and that the manner in which we show up is the manner in which the universe demonstrates its amen as us. And so it is.